I mean, I was told by my film professor there are films and there are movies, and sometimes you've got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah. See, but I come from a time when movies were films.
So the Oscars are actually happening on Sunday, and I'm recording this on Friday, so I don't know who exactly won for Best Director. It may be one of those great nominees, but I'm hoping for Brady Corbet. He's my personal pick. I know that a lot of other cinephiles as well are also like betting on who's going to win what, which is an insane thing to do. I, don't want to bet money on really anything at all. After the Chiefs Super Bowl game, that showed enough that you should never bet ever. But if it's a lock, then bet your house on it because it's probably going to hit. Or maybe not my fault if it doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here, but getting back on track, the main guy himself who should have been nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards was Denis Villeneuve. He should have been nominated, in my opinion. I'm not trying to trash anyone who is nominated for Best Director this year, but in my personal opinion, I think Denis Villeneuve definitely should have been locked in there. He made the best film of last year and also one of the best of the entire decade, which is Dune Part 2. And in my opinion, he just should have been there. And like I said, I'm not trying to trash on anyone who was nominated for Best Director. I'm actually a fan of a lot of them here. The nominees this year are including Honora from Sean Baker, who did an incredible job. I've already given enough praise to that movie. It's a very good work by him. And also, Sean Baker is just one of my personal favorites doing it right now. He's very good at what he does. The Brutalist, we did an episode last week on that one. The Brutalist is an absolutely incredible movie. I'm hoping for Brady Corbet to win. I think it's really his year to do it. And he did just an incredible job. Also, like I said, shooting on VistaVision. Also, mostly the film was shot in that format, which is just huge to do that in. For Complete Unknown, the incredible biopic that I haven't seen yet is from James Mangold. He also is one of my favorites as well. He did Logan. Logan is one of my favorite films of all time, so I definitely have to have some flowers for him as well. Haven't seen him yet, but Emilia Perez by Jacques Audiard is a definitely interesting nomination. I heard that it was a trash film, but whatever. The Substance also is from Coralie Fargay, who I haven't seen quite yet. I'm really hoping to see The Substance very soon. But still, like I said, all the nominees, I have nothing but love for you. I mean, no kind of ill intent here. But I'm just saying that Denis Villeneuve should have been in here and he definitely should win. Because this movie, Dune Part 2, is just one of the best films ever made. And also a film that I've been just obsessing over ever since it came out. And also, I saw it 3 times in theaters. So yes, I know I'm glazing it very heavily. But he really did create one of the greatest pieces of art ever made by man with Dune Part 2. I know it might sound outrageous, but still, that's my personal opinion. And also, in addition to the Oscar nominees, I also mean zero kind of ill intent to any of the directors from last year, 2024. There's a whole slew of directors that should have been nominated as well. Like for Furiosa, we have George Miller, who was just really incredible with that movie. That was one of my favorites last year as well. Also for Nosferatu, Robert Eggers, who did just an absolutely incredible, masterful job of making that film. Nosferatu is just insane. Then also Challengers, Luca Guadagnino was a huge surprise. Also Trap, M. Night Shyamalan is really one of my favorites of the entire decade. Also, I saw it in theaters, saw it at home. That film's directing and cinematography is just on a different level. Trust me, watch Trap, M. Night Shyamalan. He definitely should have gotten a nomination. But circling all back to the Academy Awards, it doesn't really matter. Denis Villeneuve doesn't need to win an Oscar. It doesn't make him a good or bad director if you win an Oscar, in my opinion at least. Yes, Christopher Nolan is a GOAT, and last year he finally won. But even if Christopher Nolan didn't win, that doesn't just ignore the entire, over a decade of just incredible films he actually made. And there's a lot of films here who didn't get nominated that I really do love from last year alone, like Didi, which is a film that's very, very simple coming-of-age story. But Sean Wang, Didi, 2024, that's really one of my favorite films of the entire decade so far. It's a film that I've already seen twice now. I'd say it's already one of my favorites of all time. It's a really good movie. But still, 0 nominations. That doesn't make it a bad movie. And yes, it's true, Dune Part 2 didn't get nominated for a lot of things at the Academy Awards. But still, that doesn't make Dune Part 2 a bad film. It is what it is. It doesn't really matter. But still, I want to come here today. Denis Villeneuve just did an absolutely incredible job with Part 1 and Part 2 of this incredible sci-fi adventure that I want to give him his flowers in some kind of way, some kind of recognition, because truly, it is a little bit sad and depressing, but it is what it is. He may not have won the Academy Award for Best Director, but I'll still be giving him the Court of Cinema 2024 Best director of that year, which is a very small, like, macaroni trophy that you see in, like, elementary school. The budget for the show has been very low. It's been a really struggling rough patch right now, but still, he gets this very small macaroni award. We're going to mail it to him. It might be, like, in pieces by the time it gets to him over in Canada, but, still, he deserved it. So in today's list, I will be ranking all of his movies, at least the mainstream ones. I'm ranking only 8 of them. He does have more than 8 movies, but these 8 films are the main ones that you should be watching, definitely. His other ones are very early works slash, like, student films, short films kind of things that I haven't seen yet, but also you most likely haven't seen either. But there are just some very cool films in this whole filmography here that you should definitely check out. Same with last year, how I talked about Christopher Nolan's Following. It's definitely like probably his worst movie, but it's a very early film. It's a very low budget, very small production, and it does show his talent by how he's able to adapt to that and seeing how he's pretty solid at working with such a small budget and production that it can really show how he can be really good with Oppenheimer. So I definitely say watch a director's earlier work to see just how good they are. And even if you're trying to watch more movies, I'd say the best thing to do is just start with following a director's career because you can really see how they grow and just get a taste of their style and how they're using it to adapt different genres and characters and stories. I'd say that's the best bet. One of the best places to start is definitely Denis Villeneuve. So just going into the list here, right already, we're just going to go into it right now. We're going to be going to number 8 here, which is Enemy, which came out in 2013. In my opinion, it's the worst Denis Villeneuve movie that I've actually seen, and it's just weird and confusing. I know you're probably saying, Logan, you're so dumb and you're an idiot. I already know that. That's number 1. But number 2, this movie is just very weird, and it's just so confusing, and it's very vague, which might be what makes it actually a masterpiece. Now, Enemy is a film that you either love or you hate. Personally, I fall somewhere in the middle. I gave it 4 out of 5, but it's a very confusing and questionable 4 out of 5 that can go down to a 2 or 5 out of 5 if I actually really wanted to. But the film does star Jake Gyllenhaal, who is definitely one of my goats for sure. And the film follows a mild-mannered college professor, discovers a lookalike actor, and delves into the other man's private affairs, which sounds very boring and kind of weird. And it is boring, weird, confusing. There's a weird big spider in the city for some reason. It's odd, and it's very weird. If you understand it, that's cool. You might need a YouTube video, but I'd say watch it if you want to just kind of dig out all of the Denis Villeneuve Infinity Stones. But it's one that I won't watch anytime soon, but I might still to just try to understand it because it's very confusing. So it is number 8. It definitely isn't, I'd say, a bad film. I might be the problem here. May not be the movie. It might just be me. Okay, so number 8 out of the way, Enemy is actually the only film on this list that is below a 4.5 out of 5 or above, which, is because it's a weird movie. It's the oddball out here. But for number 7, it is a much better film in my opinion, which is Sicario. It is an easy 4.5 out of 5, and it's really just an incredible film, very rooted in reality, but still just so impressive and just so intriguing. It's everything to me. I love Sicario. The second one, haven't seen yet. Denis Villeneuve didn't direct it. Heard it was garbage, but still, the first one, at least 2015, Sicario, is incredible. I watched this one very recently. You got Emily Blunt in here, Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, Daniel Kaluuya in here at a very young age, John Bernthal as well. It's a solid all-around cast. The story's even better. Cinematography is done by the one, the only, the GOAT himself, Roger Deakins, who's just really, you can argue, the best cinematographer of all time. If you even want to argue it, it's a very dumb argument. But still, Roger Deakins is incredible here. That one sunshot shot inside of Sicario is just incredible. That's like a super cool, simple shot that is everything to me. Such deep and inky blacks. It does have, I guess, how, that meme of when you go to Mexico in a movie, it has that weird orange tint. That is here in the movie. It's very weird, but, it's essential for every kind of film that takes place in Mexico. It's everything. But you might be asking yourself, what is Sicario? And the film is an idealistic FBI agent is enlisted by a government task force to aid in escalating war against drugs at the border area between the U.S. and Mexico, which sounds very simple, sounds really boring. You're probably saying, Logan, I've seen tons of films that are going over the U.S. and Mexico drug war. Why is this one actually good? Just watch it. You'll understand. It's so simple, but it's just so incredibly executed. I give it all my love. I love Sicario. Loved it for a while. Love it forever. And the common theme here with the Denis Villeneuve movies is to just watch them. I understand it's not a great way to describe a movie or even give a review, but really, the best way to describe a Denis Villeneuve movie might actually be the quote from Frank Herbert, author of Dune, that says, reality in life isn't a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced and lived in. That's not the exact quote, but something along those lines. And that's definitely the theme around Denis Villeneuve and his films. It's just the movies are something they actually live in. It's something that you actually experience. It's really, I guess, everything I love about movies is all inside of his films, Denis Villeneuve. And just before even bringing to the sci-fi, what he does in his more grounded films just shows just how talented he really is. I love him for that. So Sicario, go watch it if for some reason haven't already. Go watch Sicario. It's very good. You're going to love it. Trust me. Go rent it. I'll pay for it if I have to. Just go watch it as soon as you can. But number 7 is Sicario, obviously. But number 6, I do have another film that is also just incredibly good. It's Incendies, Denis Villeneuve, 2010. This one is insane. This is an absolutely insane movie. It's one of the best of all time. Listen, I understand I can't give that much info on what this film is, what it's telling. In my opinion, just go into it blind. That's how I did it. That's how you should do it as well. The movie is just a shock. It's insane. The twist alone is going to leave you just jaw dropped by just how incredible it is, how incredibly executed it is. The movie is awesome. It's incredible. It's insane. Watch it as soon as you can. And I know it's very weird to say, go watch a movie. It's incredible. I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to even give you the description of it. It's a foreign film. I think it's French or Canadian, something like that. It's a foreign film, so you may not be into that kind of thing. It's Canadian French. Sorry, my bad. But still, go watch it. Trust me, you're going to love it. It's really good all around. It's just insane. The cinematography, set design, production design, acting may not be, I guess, the best, but the story, the script, the screenplay with this movie, it's one of the best of all time. It's literally a work of art. It should be in the Sistine Chapel, but it's how beautiful it is. So Incendies, 2010, it's a foreign film. You may be kind of like, I don't know about it. Just trust me. Go watch it. Rent it. Like I said, I'll pay for it myself. Just DM me. Say, hey, Logan, I just rented Incendies. I'll cash up you $10 right there on the spot. I promise you. Just go watch it as soon as you can. I don't care how. Just do it. So Incendies, an essential number 6. But for number 5, I do have Prisoners, which could be lower on the list, but still Prisoners is just insane for me. Prisoners is awesome. I love this one a whole lot. If you haven't seen Prisoners, you're probably asking yourself, what is Prisoners even? Prisoners is a very cool mystery, neo-noir thriller kind of thing that's super cool. If you like the Batman, then you'll love this one. Essentially kind of what it is. It's not exactly the Batman, but still, it's a very fun mystery. Stars Jake Gyllenhaal, stars the great Hugh Jackman, my personal GOAT. Viola Davis as well is in here. Paul Dano is always fun. He's always a very fun guy to watch on screen. And also, cinematography is done by the one, the only, again, Roger Deakins, who just really did an incredible job. This one's super cool. It's just super muddy and a lot of very dark, inky blacks, very cool highlights. It's a great movie. If you want to analyze cinematography alone, it's very good for that. I think for this one, if you really like just like edge of your seat, really cool drama mystery films, then this one, it's going to be for you for sure. It's a definitely very good entry point for Denis Villeneuve. I'll admit he may have some weirder films, but just starting out with the more grounded stuff first, like Prisoners, Enemy is not grounded. Don't start with Enemy, but Prisoners, Sicario, Incendies. Start here. 3 movies are all just at least 4.5 or 5 out of 5 for sure. Watch them all. Watch those 3 first. Then go into the sci-fi stuff, which is actually just very insane also. Then if you want to go into Enemy, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. But essentially, what Prisoners is, it's just about 2 girls go missing. This very cool drifter, neo-noir guy, protagonist, Jake Gyllenhaal, Detective Loki. He comes out of here with this trench coat, tattoos, very slick back hair. He's like, yo, let me lock in and handle this. I guess it's like the modern day Chinatown. That's kind of what it is, I guess. The modern day Chinatown. That's a very fun way to describe it. You're going to love it. Watch it. It's a whole lot of fun. Hugh Jackman is also just incredible in this movie. Hugh Jackman could have and should have gotten a nomination. He didn't, which is whatever. It doesn't matter. He's one of the best of his generation for sure. Hugh Jackman's my GOAT, always will be. Even outside of Wolverine, he's very good. So watch Prisoners. It's a very fun, edge of your seat mystery. You're going to love it, I promise. Just trust me. Like I said, if you need to rent it, go rent it. Just DM me, say, hey, Logan, I rented Prisoners. I'll cash it be like $10. I promise you, you're going to love Prisoners. It's really good. Very great movie. So with that out of the way, that's the bottom 4 out of the way here. Number 8 was Enemy, 7 Sicario, 8 Incendies, essential movie. Very good. Number 5, Prisoners. And number 4, we're going into the sci-fi side of things with Arrival. And Arrival is another film that I have to say, go into it blind. I understand this is a very bad way to rank the movies, but still, go into Arrival blind and you will be just mind blown by just how good it is. Arrival is incredibly essential. It's just one of those films, like I said previously, don't understand it, don't try to analyze it, just experience it, and you'll probably cry. So that's it for you. It's about aliens. They come to Earth, and they need to send this lady in to translate exactly what they're saying, and that's all I can tell you. That's it. There's kind of like, I guess, a twist to the movie, but you're gonna just be just incredibly emotionally wrecked by it. It's gonna be like you get hit with a freight train by just how good it is. It's really not the film you're going to see coming at all, which may be a bad thing for you. You may say it's a snooze fest, boring movie. In my opinion, you just don't get it. I don't really care. I don't really care at all. You don't get it if you say it's boring and it's weird. Trust me, watch it. You might end up driving down the highway at like 100 miles an hour, blasting the music from the end of the movie, but it's just that emotionally impactful to you. So number 4, Arrival. I understand I can't tell you that much, but just trust me. Go watch the movie. You're going to enjoy it. I promise you'll enjoy it. It's going to be very good. You're going to see why Denis Villeneuve is truly the prodigal son of science fiction. There's only about 4 really good sci-fi films, but they're all just top of the cream of the crop, but it's how good they are. So number 4 out of the way. Number 3 is a film that is definitely my baby. I love number 3, which is Dune Part 1. I love Dune Part 1, 2021. I'm very wrecked right now. Sorry. 2021, film came out. It's a very weird year right now for cinema. We're coming off of 2020, which is a very, very bad year financially. And at this time, 2021, one, saw it in theaters, incredible IMAX experience. But number 1 is that the movie is at this weird spot because what they were saying and the overall rumor was that if Dune Part 1 didn't do good, then the sequel would never happen. Like, Dune Part 1 ends on a cliffhanger right in the middle of the book, and that's it. Nothing else. So at this time, there were so many films that were just solid flicks, but doing just very, very bad financially. Part of that had to do with the day-and-day release. You had on day 1, it would be streaming and also in theaters, which was a very bad decision, but still, Warner Brothers at a very weird point at that time doing it, which led Christopher Nolan away, and it was a bad move for them. Not sure why they did that at all. But with Dune Part 1, this movie is just so good. I understand the criticism saying that's super boring. It's not. It's a very good movie. We did actually a full review on that one last year before Dune Part 2. It's a full 30-minute episode explaining why I love that movie and why it's incredible. This is cinema perfected. This is sci-fi at one of its highest points ever in cinematic history, and I love it for that. All around, from the production, cinematography with Greg Fraser, the incredible acting, Timothée Chalamet at the lead role. The next GOAT here is at the lead of the movie. That says enough. But I really do love Dune Part 2. I love it beyond what words can say and words can describe. I can't really fit any words in the dictionary to describe just how much I love the Dune movies. I love with all my heart. I have the 4K copy on my shelf. I have the Dune book, which is a paperweight, but still, I love it that much about the book. I haven't read it, but I still have the book on my shelf. It's a paperweight, collecting dust, but still, I have it. I'm really just going to follow the same trend here and just say, go watch Dune Part 1. If you haven't seen it for whatever reason, go watch it. Just see that incredible Greg Fraser cinematography, the incredible Denis Villeneuve directing, the awesome score by the one, the only Hans Zimmer, the actual GOAT of all time, is also on the score, which is just insane to think about. And he did a very, very good job with it. Won another Oscar for it as well. And just watch the movie and you're going to love it. I promise you. Just go watch it. It's incredible. I love it. I love Dune Part 1. It's awesome. Please go see it. Please. I beg of you. So number 3, Dune Part 1. I love it. It's just a great movie. I love that movie. I can't get enough of it. I know I'm really glazing the Dune franchise. I always am. But it's a fair glaze. But for number 2, It's 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, perfect movie. It's not number one, though. We already know what that is. But for number two, it's the film that whenever you see a guy who loves films and he opens up his phone and his phone has a picture of an orange background and a guy in the middle with like a big black trench coat, it's Blade Runner 2049, the sequel to the incredible first film, 1982 Blade Runner. And this movie is, I think, I'll say it's the best legacy sequel of all time, no doubt. And there's a lot of great ones out there that are very, very good. Top Gun Maverick, etc., etc. But this one, 2049, is a truly incredible sequel that is awesome. I love 2049 so much. I saw it very recently, gave it 5 out of 5 again. I can't get enough of it. The way that 2049 just expands on the first film, truly an actual sequel. When a lot of these other legacy sequels come out, they're all about, being, I guess, the legacies of the original movies and just not really focus on expanding, focusing on just like rebranding and making a new film for modern audiences, which can lead to a whole slew of issues that we've seen in the past. But this movie, 2049, truly focuses on being a great sequel to the first movie, which sounds like, yeah, I know that's an obvious thing, Logan, what are you talking about? But no, a lot of other legacy films are focused on the wrong things, but this one is not focused on being a cash grab. It's not focused on being this or that or being a remake of the first one. It's focused on being a true film to expand on the first movie and be a good sequel at its core, which is everything that should be, everything that needs to be. It's awesome. It's incredible. It's a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 movie. It's sci-fi at also, again, one of its highest forms ever. There's a very big reason that I say that Denis Villeneuve is science fiction's prodigy and prodigal son, and it's because of this movie, mainly, with 2049, it's everything to me. You have, once again, an incredible production design here. This incredible production design, it's awesome, I love it. Also, cinematography, once again, is Roger Deakins, the GOAT of all time. Score is Hans Zimmer and a couple other people here as well. It's a very weird explanation, but still, Hans Zimmer for the score, who is, we all know who Hans Zimmer is. He's awesome. The way he composed the movie, it's everything. It's just so incredible. I love it. Okay, yeah. So you had Hans Zimmer and also Benjamin Wallfisch, who also is a great composer as well. He did It Chapter 1, also It Chapter 2, which we don't talk about at all. Alien Romulus, he did that one as well, and also Mortal Kombat, etc., etc. He's a great composer. Also The Flash, Benjamin Wallfisch, I thank you for that so much. The Flash is also a beautiful score. Goes on that one immediately. But then also for acting, the reason why the world fell in love with Ana de Armas has a very big part to do with this film, and she's here for obvious reasons. If you've seen the film, you know. So, she's great in the movie as well. Ana de Armas is awesome. Dave Bautista is in the film for like 5 or 10 minutes, we'll say. But he also gives just one of the best performances ever for a wrestler ever. Awesome. He's really good in the movie. Also, the main leads, Harrison Ford, is in the film, but not that much really for, as you would think. You think that the movie is going to be about Harrison Ford's character coming back, teaching the younger guy how to do the job. No, that's not it at all. And really, it's kind of weird because if you get Harrison Ford assigned to a movie, you're going to put him in like 9% of the film. But no, they make him kind of a back character and have the main guy be me. Actually, it's actually me as the main role here with Ryan Gosling. And Ryan Gosling for the movie got some criticism, I can assume, because it's a very bland, very nonchalant, stoic performance, which really isn't that easy as you really think it is. I understand that you could say, oh, what, he's just nonchalant with a straight face. Anyone can do that. Let me explain to you, one time only, acting can be subtle and acting can be loud. Acting with subtlety is a very incredible true art form that he does a very good job with here. Ryan Gosling, he's the GOAT. He's a very good one. But the thing that really makes this film just so incredibly good, besides Ana de Armas, is just the way the film unfolds on itself after each watch. I've seen this film, I kid you not, about 5 times actually. And the movie after each watch just gets better and better. And it's essential because the first time I watched it was in 2021, gave it 4 stars. Then most recently, I watched it June of last year, gave it 5 out of 5, finally, because it needs a 5 out of 5. It needs a perfection. The way the film just continues to unfold on itself and just continues to show its layers and its beauty is everything to me. And the first one as well is also just incredible. I don't want to really trash on the first movie. The first one by my personal goat, who also was actually busy at the time, because originally we are supposed to have the Blade Runner 2049 movie be directed by originally the guy who we don't like that much, Ridley Scott, but he was too busy with Alien Covenant, I think, at the time. So we kind of got saved here and also robbed, because I would like to see what he would have done here. It would be kind of cool, but still, Denis Villeneuve, it's just incredible what he did with the movie and the way he truly made it just a good, proper sequel that is better than the original, that introduces more themes, executes them better than the first movie did, and truly breaking down what it means to be human and what makes a human being, what makes us human, what makes life precious. That's the whole film, which is just a lot, obviously. So it takes a lot of watches to really get it down, but you're going to love it. Just watch the first movie, the Blade Runner 1982, the final cut. Watch that first, then go to the second one. You'll never regret it. Watch it. But that's number 2 out of the way and done for. And for number 1, you might know what it is already, because there's only one film left that I haven't mentioned yet that I glaze all the time. I'm talking about the one, the only, the best film of last year, 2024, the best film from Denis Villeneuve is without a doubt, no question, Dune Part 2. I understand it's been less than a year, actually, because currently it's February 28th, less than a year than the first movie. But still, in my opinion, my very humble opinion, Dune Part 2 is one of the best films of all time. It's better than every single Star Wars film, better than all Lord of the Rings, it's better than all Transformers. It's the best science fiction film of all time. Dune is the greatest franchise ever made in history. This is the best film ever made. Sorry, nope, not gonna say that. One of the best of all time. It's a great movie, though. It's great, 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 great. I love it a whole lot. Dune Part 2 is number 1 for obvious reasons. I don't need to say that whole much about it, because like I said last year, Dune Part 2, I saw it 3 times in one weekend. Wait, nope, twice in one weekend, 3 times in 1 month in theaters. I saw it once in IMAX, second time was Dolby, third time IMAX again, and the film just got better and better and better, that I couldn't find a single flaw, with no notes at all, besides my only note was actually it wasn't long enough. I need more of Dune, because it's really just that incredible. But Dune Part 2, let's just break it down all the way together. Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, Stellan Skarsgård. I mean, come on. The cast all around delivered in spades by just how incredible and committed to the role they actually were, that I couldn't even tell was a movie at times. I said it actually in the last episode here, that Timothy Chalamet, nominated for Complete Unknown, he should have been nominated for the Oscar, but for the wrong movie. It should have been Dune Part 2 for Paul Atreides, because he really is the clear best actor in that movie. And I know Complete Unknown was probably a solid film, but it wasn't as good as Dune Part 2. And the performance should have been for Paul Atreides, Lassana Gaib, the Kuzak Haderach, the one, the only Timothy Chalamet in that role was the clear winner. But you know what? It is what it is. And also, just really quick here, behind the camera, it's just an all-around incredible stacked production team here with Denis Villeneuve. We also have Greg Fraser here again under cinematography, which was just incredible. Cinematography here is nominated as well on Sunday for the Oscars. I hope it wins. Like I said, I'm recording this on Friday. I have no idea, but I hope so. And once again, the score from Hans Zimmer, I understand it couldn't be nominated because it is a sequel and it kind of reuses the music, but I mean, come on. The music, I was actually just blasting in the car like 5 minutes ago. The music is insane here also. The movie, look, just go watch it. I mean, I don't need to say anything else. Dune Part 2, it's on Netflix. Go to Walmart, buy it on 4K. Just whatever you need to do, watch Dune Part 2. It's that incredible. I haven't been this invested into science fiction in a long time, but definitely very deserving. And like I said, I also gave a full, massive review for this film over last year in March when it first came out, which was a crazy, crazy episode. So, like I said, go watch it. Dune Part 2 is number 1, clearly. If you rebuttal to that, I don't agree with you, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Last year, I did a very massive, whopping 23-minute episode. That was very short. Wow, I'm actually pretty surprised by that. But still, go watch it. Dune Part 2, clear number 1. For obvious reasons, the film speaks for itself. Go experience it. Listen to the score. Watch the incredible film. then that's all you need to know. If you had any rebuttal or hates to Denis Villeneuve for Dune, then you just immediately got silenced with part 2, because it really was one of the best things ever made by man for art and for cinema all around. Just, I think, by man created in general was Dune part 2, and it's just one of the best things ever made, ever. Honestly, that's all I gotta say. I'm out of words here, out of slew. I'm already speechless again. It's that incredible. So very, very fast recap here. Number 8, we did have the very bad movie Never Watched. I mean, you can watch Enemy. Enemy's number 8. I'm just over exaggerating here. But Enemy, number 8. Number 7, Sicario. 6, Incendies. 5 is Prisoners. 4, Arrival. 3, Dune Part 1. 2 is Blade Runner 2049. And number 1, the greatest sci-fi film ever. Top 5, top 10 sci-fi film of all time is Dune Part 1. No question, no doubt. The things this film does, I never thought was possible to be seen on the big screen in IMAX. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had for a theater ever in film history. This movie, Dune Part 2, is our generation's Empire Strikes Back, and I hate to say it, might be better than it. So that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna leave it there. I just lost like about 500 listeners, but we can grow them back in a couple of days. We'll be fine. Some things to look forward to in March. We're actually going to be starting up our Superman series. I have to work on that like right now because I'm actually very behind on it. But still, Superman series going through every single Superman movie, starting that very, very soon. Invincible is still going very, very strong. Last of Us starts in April, so I'm thinking of doing a Last of Us Season 1 review, just to get caught up on Season 1 before Season 2. Just trust me when I say Season 2, I have some high hopes for. I'm a big fan of the game, big fan of the show. I'm pretty excited to see what they do with it. The second game got a lot of hate, so I'm interested to see how they're going to adapt to that in a way. I'm excited. I'm interested to see. We're going to see what happens. Besides that, March is looking a little bit quiet, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Invincible's ending. We're also getting Daredevil, which should be a lot of fun. Daredevil, haven't even seen Season 1, so you're not going to be hearing a lot of that from me. That's going to be for sure. But still, that should be a fun show to watch. Daredevil, if you've seen the show, then have fun. I'll be sitting here alone watching some more Bluey, but it is what it is. Yeah, it seems like every single year, like January, February, March, not until like April, and even then, only maybe like one film may be good. But usually, earlier side of the year, like no good movies. So we gotta wait till like May and April to start getting good films. But I'll be going into the Superman film too very, very soon. Gotta get some stuff prepped for that one. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun with that. But until then, you can follow us on TikTok and Twitter. I'm not saying X. TikTok, we're actually on there again. I was able to download it again, so I'm happy about that one. That's gonna be a whole lot of fun to make some more videos on TikTok. But TikTok, we're on there. Instagram, I'm going to try to post more. I swear I'm going to try. I didn't say I was. I'm going to try to. But TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and we're on those guys. And also, if you're on YouTube, I want to apologize because with YouTube, I can upload on there, but I have to manually make it a public thing for you to listen to on YouTube Music, which is very annoying. Like, I went on there last night. I had like 10 different podcast episodes to make manually public for you to listen to, which is a very annoying process. I have to try to find a way to make it a automatic thing, but I'll see how that goes. But until next time, obviously stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more films, watch Dune Part 2 again. I mean, why not? I mean, what are you wasting? Watch Dune Part 2 again, watch every single Denis Villeneuve film just one more time. And until then, I'm Real Slogan. I'll see you boys in the movies.